All right, guys, hello. Welcome to Monday, the 30th of March. Okay, and we are going to have a trade recap. Okay, not a trade recap, but basically, I'm gonna do this as the market's obviously doing its thing. Just to quickly ignore that. So, I've changed up my trading plan a little bit in terms of being more black and white. I've named it the black and white plan, right? So I wanna just have a straightforward, are we bearish? Yes. Are we bullish? No. Stuff like that, instead of having my mind run around 20 different possible reasons. Okay, so let's just have a look at the daily. What do we see, right? We are bearish, right? It's very clear that we are bearish, right? We've tapped into this monthly gap. Okay, we've tapped into this monthly gap, but let's just be more advanced. We have this leg here. Okay, let's draw it out. This is the monthly range. Now, have we reached discount over yet? No. Therefore, I'm still looking to be bearish, right? We're in a premium. We're looking to go into a discount. Okay. This gap is ideal. Is it guaranteed? No. We're bearish. Yes. Okay. I'm coming into the market with a bearish bias, right? We're having bearish structure. Okay. Weekly as well. We have the same thing. We tap into this gap, right? But it does not matter. Why? Well, look, we draw out the fib every time. Can we see we are not hitting discount, right? So we're not hitting discount. We've not hit discount here. The monthly and the weekly range line up perfectly. Okay, line up perfectly. Now let's obviously just have a look at the daily. So what did we do yesterday? Yesterday, well, we don't close out. We don't take out any liquidity here. But what do? We move lower. Okay, we move lower. We close below this candle, so bearish. Next day, close below, bearish. Next day, what can we anticipate? Bearish. Okay, ignore this candle. Right, this candle will mess you up. It's better to just literally, when you come into the chart, you let's do select bar. Coming today, and you're looking at the chart like this, right? So you're thinking, oh, okay, so since it's kind of closed below, what's the likeliness of this next candle to close below? Okay, we're looking to be bearish, right? It's as simple as that. Obviously, this is not going to give you 100% win rate because the market is likely to reverse, right? We have is it a weekly opening gap? I think so. A weekly opening gap. And yeah, so let's just go down. Go into the 4 hour, right? Are we seeing price respecting bearish structure? Well, we can't determine that yet. We can't determine that yet. We have this small little leg, right? I don't know, price could reach into here or into here and then it move lower, which also would confirm bearish PDRs, right? However, for the time being, it could be that price runs in here and then we catch a trade, right? So if this doesn't happen, say today, right, then that's fine. I just want to take a trade, right? Or if something very, very clearly sticks out, say for example, this range here, right? If this range sticks out and we tap into this level with a wick, we could expect possible shorts, right? But yeah, let's look at the 1 hour. What's the 1 hour doing? Well, we're in a bearish gap here, right? But that's not our range. Why? Well, look, let's mark it out again. We can see, do we reach the 50% level? The 50% level is right here. Do we tap back into it? No. You know, do we tap into it yet? No. So we can look for a short, possibly, yeah, within this large leg. Okay. Same thing here. Discount premium, sorry, does not get tapped into, right? So this is that higher time frame, the daily, right, the daily range, right? So price could tap in here today, or it could tap into here and then move lower, right? Or for whatever weird reason, price taps in here, rejection block, move lower, right? There's so many possibilities, okay? So many possibilities. So you got to keep yourself as calm and as cool as collected and trade with what the bias is, right? We are bearish, okay? We've got the war going on. We've got so much fundamental stuff pointing towards the downside, okay? So in terms of my report, so I say 1 hour for our structure and we delete the unselected choice, okay? Are we respecting bullish PD arrays or respecting bearish? Well, we can't tell, right? We can't tell yet, right? Especially from the 1 hour or the 4 hour, right? If we get this down close candle being respected, then okay, we're respecting bullish, right? But that's going against bearish structure, which means I ignore this. Okay, I ignore this for the time being. And if we're respecting neither, which is kind of what we're looking at now, right? We're having a bullish move, we're disrespecting bearish, and then we're not really showing any sort of respect in terms of bullish either. Okay, so for the time being, we're going to say yes, we're not respecting any of them. Okay, so what's the thing to do? Remain patient and wait for confirmation aligning with daily structure, right? Okay, us aligning for bearish price action, right? Let me just, are we respecting bullish PMs? Let's delete that. Okay, nice. Now, macroeconomic news. Let's check Forex Factory. Okay, let's check Forex Factory. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Yes, we have news today. Okay. There's gonna be big news, right? If we have news, what is the news? Well, we have Fed Chair Powell speaks at 10:30 a.m. Okay, so what are we going to anticipate here? We can anticipate a just chop right before news releases, right? Which is going to be at 14:30 p.m. for UK. Okay, so for up until that time, we're going to expect choppiness, right? So we're just going to be in the market. Say market opens 9:30, we might have some sort of plummet down, okay? But then after that, we're just going to be in a range, okay? We're going to be in a range, and then when 10:30 hits, right? Let's say this is the 10:30 time, right? So if I was to market at 10:30, we can expect either a whipsaw or what would be clean is we rally into here and then we get a short, right? But obviously it's not guaranteed, right? So it doesn't matter. But yeah, we've got news. Now draws for the day. So draws for the day are these areas here, right? These areas here. Now the reason I've kind of reduced the size of the ES chart is because, well, I want to mainly trade NQ, right? For the reason of there being more volatility and the price just being overall cleaner, okay? So let's just comment on this. So this is the ideal draw on the day. We have a daily range as well as a bearish value gap, which is on the daily, and we have the previous week's new week opening gap that did not get tapped slash filled. It's not like been retraced back into, right? Can we see how obviously we declined through it, but we don't get any sort of correction through it, right? They did not get retraced back into, okay? Obviously, price does not have to come back to this level, right? Does not need to do that. But yeah, okay, we're getting like some sort of weird 7 a.m. candle. Trump, what did you do? What did you do, Trump? What have you done? What have you done? Well, he definitely actually has done something. Let's check. News. All of the talking is coming related. I know the singles getting outdated. You want a feature, then just say that. You want a feature. Nothing crazy. But anyway, yeah, so draws of the day is that gap, right? Also it's possible that we have this 4 hour leg, right? So let's just kind of talk about this as well. These are overlapping gaps, right? So this entire area looks clean as well. On the 4 hour, we have a smaller leg and a similar setup excluding the envelope, right? Price could react from here or from daily if we are holding strong bearish bias. Okay. Now let's go into some quick midnight session looking. So let's see what happens at midnight. So let's mark it out. Where's midnight? Midnight. Okay. So look at midnight here as well. Does anything of importance happen? Well, not really. But what do we see? Monday opening, Sunday opening, we form a Judas swing. Okay, form a Judas swing in the opposite direction. Okay, that's quite important. So let's just quickly mark this out. Midnight opening price. Let's talk about daily open. That's 18 on Sunday. We see price form a Judas swing within the monthly gap. This does not align with current ideal bearish structure. Midnight opening price rallies higher without any layer manipulation. So this means that either this current run is the manipulation on the high time frame, or we are getting a continuation higher, right? We are looking to be bearish, therefore not typically interested in entering long run. Okay. But yeah, like here we can see obviously we form that low, we take out previous day's low and we start to move a little bit higher. We're in this bullish order block. There's a bullish order block here, and also we have this large leg. This is the ideal scenario. Obviously, there is the scenario of this here, right? So we are pushing higher. Well, I think personally this is just a retracement, right? But yeah, to me, what the hell? What's going on? To me, this looks like a time frame retracement. Okay. Cool. Have to take it on say it, I handled this. Is anyone gonna see Gunner? Is there from you can come and see Gunner? Because that'd be quite cool. I would I was just saying hi to me, bro. You don't fucking know who I am. But yeah. Okay. Now, that's pretty much all I've got in terms of analyzing the market now. Well, just have to stay a little bit patient. Okay. We don't really reach any high time frame PDA right here. So this rejection block does not seem something reasonable, you know? 2D close below equilibrium. I think even the same can be said on this candle. Yep. Obviously, you know, if you were to take an entry on the stop loss, you could put it higher and we could target, I don't know, let's say this engineered liquidity, right? That's what I wanted to. But for now, I will just kind of chill. Any additional news, market opens in an hour. Oh no, it doesn't. It was in 2 hours. Oh shit, because London went forward, so now it's back to 2:30. Yeah, boy. All right. Well, that means that it's gonna be at 3:30 p.m. if anything, actually. So that's fine. Um, I've got a property viewing later today, but literally at that time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll come back to you lot when I have more market information. All right, guys, I'm back. So market opens, and well, we have this data high, right, which formed, and what do we do? Well, I wish I took a trade on it, but I'm not going to sit here and cry. Even on the 5 minute, so let's mark out this rejection block. What do? We tap in perfectly into the 50% sensor of encroachment level, okay? And if we draw out, say, the fib on this level, let's do it the other way. Draw out the fib. We tap into discount, and stop loss could have been easily the, say, just about the 0.79, and we could have targeted. My target would have been like the London low, which is what I want 7R, which is to the tick, bang, right? Nice good entry. But obviously that's something to not cry on. But yeah, the current trade that I'm looking at now is obviously we have the New York AM decline, and now we have this displacement leg. Okay, we have this displacement leg. Entry, right? My entry lines up perfectly with 0.705, and this is pretty much the beginning of the gap, right? Pretty much the beginning of the gap. I don't anticipate price to carry on any higher because we already tapped into this sensor of encroachment. Okay, and price should respect lower. Still have reason for price to obviously be able to tap into here to draw down. But then other than that, nothing else. I'm thinking maybe it would be smart to move stop loss here. It doesn't affect risk to reward that much. And it would be a bit of a safety net as well. Yeah, I think I will do that actually. So let me just quickly do that live now. Cancel, view one. How come it's only $64? Yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll do that. But yeah, let's see if this is possible. If this is possible for it to play out. Let's actually open Forest Sweater as well, because now it's happening. He's about to speak. He's going to say good morning, good afternoon, and we are going to lump. Okay. US dollar index has rallied. But yeah, if we don't catch a trade here, then it just doesn't look like there's going to be energy for me today. We have loads of errors, so like we have this weekly NWOG, right? We've got the NWOG, we've got the weekly open. Price is obviously likely to come down to. You have Asia low. We have the center of encroachment on the weekly gap. My draw has just been tapped into the wick. But yeah, this draw is something like consistent. It's gonna keep happening, and that's completely fine. I do expect price to obviously come back into this level. If it doesn't, then so be it. But yeah. All right, guys. I've had a bit of an alteration in terms of the market, so we're looking at being quite weak, as you can see. And what's happened is we've got an SMT, so ES takes out these highs, NQ fails, right, which is nice and clean, and we get a nice rejection block. Right? Why is this valid? Well, yeah, we have engineered liquidity, okay, and we close below fib, right? Close below the 50%. Go on the 1 minute. Try this range, okay. I'm looking at entering on the around the 0.168 level, okay. Reason being, well, obviously we have this rejection block as well. Price could obviously tap in, even here as well on the sensor of encroachment, consequential encroachment, I think it's called. I don't fucking know, bro. But yeah, like this area really. And then what I'll be targeting is weekly open. Weekly open is 191.5. So let's actually just correct that. 0.5. There we go. And also we have this gap. Price could deliver off this gap and we get the thing, and that's completely fine. You can do that, and so be it. If I lose this trade, well, too early, right? We could be retracing on the higher time frame eventually into these areas here, and I'm taking too much of a scalp trade. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly update this before it looks like we're gonna get entered. And yeah, I'll get back to you with more information. All right, guys. So we got entered at this point here. Okay, let me actually just get rid of this. So we got entered here. Okay, and we had this close, and I was like, oh, all right, price might do something nice, and then it's candle bang. All right, so we got stopped out. Now, what can I anticipate happening? Well, I think the overall reason for this trade being a losing trade is the lack of patience. Okay, we have this 15-minute gap. Okay, I entered on an SMT it just doesn't even make sense, right? We don't fill any gap, we don't do anything here, right? 15-minute, we have a nice big bearish gap. Okay, so let's just actually line this up. Look, we have the 0.005 and the CE of this gap quite in line with one another. Okay, and so realistically, this is the range. So my entry should have been for safety here. Right, let's say safety here, stop loss there, targeting where? Well, we can obviously have this low as a target. Okay, so this is a 3.77R, and that would be fulfilling enough. Okay, let me just get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Also, we have power speaking right now. So yeah, like obviously this trade is something that I could have remained patient on and taken. Why? Well, because look, we're retracing back into New York AM, right? It's very simple. We're retracing back in a bearish stance, right? Which is very good, and it aligns. Okay. Yes, we can see he's already within this level. Let's actually mark out its range. Quite interested to see what's going on here. We don't tap into this level yet. Let's look at the CE. Not reached it just yet. Okay. And if we mark out the same exact entry conditions, let's go here, 5 minute. Mark that out, and then target. See, let's say even the gap here, right? 4.36. Okay. But yeah, losing trade. I'm not hurt about it. That's just part of the game. It was a lack of patience, 100%. I went down into some spooky 5 minute, and my brain just was no longer clear. Okay, so I lost clear line of sight in today's trade. Next lessons. So my next steps really are let me actually just do this. So my next steps are, let's talk about my mistakes, right? So I think for a more profitable strategy, the ideal scenario is to be patient. Okay, having a lot of patience, right? You got to let the market come to you, not the other way around. Okay, see we're tapping into this golden level now. Yeah, it could. This trade obviously could end up being successful if I had patience, right? Obviously, we don't know. This could essentially stop me out still, but obviously no one knows. But yeah, my issue was I scalped, right? Yeah, I did like a weird scalp, and that ended up me being stopped out, right? This would have been a beautiful trade. This candle literally comes in at 9:30. People had limits here at 100%, and it took the short all the way down into probably midnight opening price. Okay. But yeah, the next steps. What can I do to avoid making the same mistakes? Well, remain more patient and let the market come to you. Okay. In regards to the strategy, it was nice and clean. Didn't really have a lot going forward. Okay. But yeah, that's that for today's trade. What I'm gonna do is in my journal, I'm gonna add a model and have everything more specific, because I can tell that I'm not being very specific when it comes to my entry models. Okay, so I'm gonna get that done, and I will see you lot for tomorrow's trading session. Just before we do that, let's actually have a look at tomorrow's news, because we are reaching the end of the month, and tomorrow is a Tuesday. Jolts, and I think tomorrow we're gonna have NFP. Wait, is it NFP? No, it's non-farm employment change. But yeah, that's that, and I'll see you lot tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.